Welcome, everybody, to episode 7 of RPGs Anonymous. I'm Zachary. I will be your GM today. Aaron, take it away.
You just told them who I am. I'll
So?
be playing Carl. Hi.
Introduce yourself again anyway.
You did. My
Do
name's
it.
Aaron.
Thank you.
I'm Colby, and I'll be playing Shane Goose Bailey.
I'm Jacob, and I'll be playing Tyke, or Steve Stevenson.
My name's Nick. I'll be playing Dr. Zed.
I'm Andy. I will be playing Dan.
Dan. So, speaking of Dan, we're going to start today. Well, let's review. We just pulled the tarot cards. If you want to see that process, join us for the pre-show about 15 minutes before. We pulled Two of Pentacles for past, we pulled the World for the present, and we pulled the Magician for the future. We will get into those more when they are used. Let's start today by having a little flashback for Carl's benefit, where we go back to the moment where the boys all enter into this big, weird virtual room. Again, you've got these like yellow lines across the floor in a grid pattern, sort of like pulsing with this electrical light every once in a while. And waiting for you, again, is Fitz with this sly sort of I know something you don't know grin on his face, and a person standing next to him with a clipboard. Andy, why don't you describe Dan for us?
Yeah, so he is average, like so average. He's wearing like khakis, and he's got like, what are those coats called, the zip up like windbreakers without the hood, that they're just kind of boring. He's got it like zipped up. You can see like the collar of his.
It's just a shell.
I think it's just called a windbreaker.
Or a shell.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know what you're describing, don't know the word for it.
But one of those coats, and it probably says IS Core on the back or something. And he's got like a pink polo shirt, and you can see like the collar and the top buttons coming out of it. But his clipboard's like super cool. It's like digital, so he's like writing stuff, and he looks bored as hell. And
aggressively
I feel like
average.
he wouldn't like smile when he sees you. Yeah. He'd just kind of like be writing stuff on his clipboard, and yeah.
How do you introduce yourself to the group?
It would be like, so today we're going to go through the evaluation. It's no big deal. You're just going to go through this building and you're going to kill some people, and I'm just going to watch what you do. So don't fuck up, guys. Okay.
I will.
We're killing people?
I love it.
So we sort of like hear that voice in our heads as we transition back to the moment that we picked up that we stopped last time. So if you'll remember, the boys just opened up a secure door to a level above where they were going into this building, into this area that is a little bit more buttoned down than what they've been dealing with. They entered in and they saw Carl across the room in a conference room area with a new cup of coffee, black, just like he likes it, and a couple of maybe what pastry do you have in your hand, actually, Carl? Let's ask you now.
Hey guys, just a bear claw.
Just a bear claw.
How's it going?
I feel like in this moment, like as they're coming in the door, kind of like sing-songy, be like, "Don't fuck up."
Yes, very wonderful. So about it at that time, almost as if Dan called them in with that sing-songy voice, you see a half dozen of these shadowy figures with these strange like future tech rifles creeping out of the shadows, looking like they are going to pounce on Carl. Why don't we roll initiative?
Yay.
Good call.
Yeah, good call. That is a vigilance, I'll say, for this one, for sure. Definitely not cool for anybody. I think you guys are surprised.
Or are we?
Wait, so, sorry. How do we do this again?
Hey, no problem.
It's either vigilance or cool.
Yeah.
You just roll it, not against anything.
Yeah, so
Okay.
It is an uncontested vigilance roll, which is vigilance and willpower. because none of you are like planning for this moment, so it's definitely like, how prepared are
Okay.
you for action in the moment?
Oh, I was planning for this moment.
I would actually, I would give Dan. I would give you cool for sure if that's better for you. But the rest of
Oh wait, you want me to roll for initiative?
Yes, you are going to roll for initiative. Full disclosure,
Good,
last
I didn't
time.
say that.
Say that again.
I said you didn't tell me that. I don't know how to roll for initiative.
Full disclosure, last time Dan was not affecting combat. Now they will be. Yes, Dan, you will roll. You can either roll cool or vigilance depending on which is better for you, and roll it uncontested. Anybody else got their rolls ready?
Don't have
2 successes, 1 advantage.
Okay.
I
Berezel
got
1 success.
1 success. Tyke.
I got 2 successes and 5 advantages.
How do you?
Damn.
How does that keep happening?
Vigilance, willpower.
Willpower.
I have a
she's
really
made up
high
a-
willpower
That's a good point. I always
because of my
forget.
magic.
Yeah, that's your magic-y thing. Goose. what you got?
1 success, 2 advantage.
Okay. I got 1.2 and 2.1. So that's 1 success, 2 advantages, 2 success, 1 advantage. Dan, what you get?
I think it's 1 advantage for success and 1 triumph.
Oh,
Yeah. Show this screen to the thing just so I can make
I'm
sure.
going to say triumphs come off the yellow dice.
Yes, she gets.
Yeah, don't
she
you roll
gets
the
that
yellow
dice.
yeah.
Yep, that's a triumph.
There you go. Okay, so that was 4 successes.
Did I roll the
And
right
a- and a
dice? Isn't
triumph.
that the yellow dice?
What's your
That's-
well? Let's figure that out first. What's your how many ranks do you have in cool and or vigilance?
Cool, 1 in vigilance.
None in cool, 1 in vigilance. So you'll probably use vigilance because I think you're
1
better
yellow
willpower.
and 2 green.
Yeah, 1 yellow and 2 green then.
I didn't know
Aw,
that.
man.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, no
hold
problem.
on. So that would be 2 advantages and 2 successes.
Okay, still quite good. 2.2. Okay, so that will put a PC slot at the top. Who wants to react to this right away? You see, again, these they obviously know that Carl is here. I don't know that they know for sure that you guys are here. So yeah, go ahead, Goose.
I think could you describe it again? Are we like in a hallway leading up to the room that Carl is in?
So you guys basically you are in right outside of a stairwell. You just entered in. I mean, you can position yourself a little bit around like where this is, but this level is like a big open concept like area with a bunch of different conference rooms. So there's this big open area, maybe like 40 feet across, before the conference room area where Carl is standing. He's like standing inside a door. These figures are maybe 20-30 feet away from him or so, creeping towards him from another one of these exits. This is currently the only entrance or exit to this area you guys can like actually clock. They're coming from like one of the other rooms.
Okay, I think Goose would look to see if there's any kind of table or anything in the area that he can like flip over and use as cover.
Oh yeah, plenty. I think
I'll
you know
try
what?
to get
Yeah,
into
let's-
like
I have
short
a
range.
Danish table behind me, but that's a long ways away from you.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
there's definitely a table in there. We can use an advantage to make sure that there's one right near you. So that
Sounds like a break room.
yeah, maybe you guys came in right next to the break room, and so you guys are like all like huddled right around there. So there's like plenty of stuff right there that you can like flip over a table and do that.
Good. Would like to flip over a table. I have quick draw, so draw the pistol as a incidental, and I imagine like kicking over the table would probably just go ahead and be my action. So I think that's all I could do.
I mean, I would probably be okay with that being a maneuver, actually. I think that's reasonable. As long as you're not like doing a bunch of extra positioning, I think it's reasonable for you to do that.
All right, then, yeah, I'll just bust out the pistol and try to take a shot at a couple of them.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll. This will be you're at short range band, so I think that's 2 purple.
All righty.
On Goose, do not throw away your shot.
Oh yeah, and can I use my bonus to take aim, which is like add a blue die to the shot?
I think taking aim is also a maneuver, so you'd have to take 2 strain to do that as well.
Nah, I won't do that then. And 1 triumph and 2 successes.
Yes.
Okay, so first off, what's the damage on that?
It is 6 damage with 2 pierce.
Okay, so I think you just want this. So describe what the gun actually looks like when you shoot it, because I think we totally glossed over that last time. But you have this cool new IS Corp like modification to your gun. Like, what does it actually look like when you shoot?
Yeah, it's we described it before as like glass kind of going down the sides of the barrel, and you see like blue electricity inside of it. And I think whenever he pulls the trigger, it like quickly flashes green and like a green just blast of, I don't know, lasers.
Is it like a Star Wars style blaster thing, or is it more like a ray gun laser, or is it like something else are you thinking?
I'm thinking like Star Wars blaster.
Okay. And then also I think you requested that, or somebody requested that it be modified so that it also still like fires a little bit, like there's a little small like explosion, so it still like kicks back. So then
it still has like the original wooden handle.
Yeah.
And it's designed to look like a revolver, even though there's no practical purpose for it.
That's awesome. Okay, so yeah, you shoot, and this green blast of blaster laser energy, whatever, plasma, sci-fi fantasy-esque thing, shoots into one of these things and just like blows it apart. And I think at that moment they all like look around with their like weird little like glowy like light slit eye things, and they sort of like see that you guys are kind of in that area. And then I'm going to request that Dan take this NPC slot. Dan, what would you like to do to affect the combat on the NPC side?
Can I do?
Just about anything. So some of the codified stuff that we have is you could like activate security features. You could bring some more dudes in, make some of the dudes stronger, or if you have an idea for something more creative, you can also do that.
Dan wants to make an earthquake.
Okay, I love that so very much. Why don't you roll? Actually, let's do this. Let's have it be like an environmental thing. So, what would be your what's your intellect?
It is 4.
Okay, so I'm gonna have all of the bros do a hard, or is that daunting? That's daunting.
Daunting.
Yeah, have it do a daunting. Let's call it, what is it? Athletics, probably. Isn't there another one? Coordination. Yeah. Let's call it either athletics or coordination. So a daunting athletics or coordination as the building begins to shake. What does this look like on this level specifically, Dan?
I feel like look like I'm kind of thinking like things are rattling, like the walls and windows are kind of rattling a lot, and like the floors maybe like undulating creepily.
Okay,
like,
so it's
a
really intense. Okay, yeah. So it's not like it definitely doesn't feel like a standard earthquake. Like maybe it's really intense in this building, and you guys can tell that it's like localized as well. Like it's like a building wide earthquake, which is weird as all get out. So yeah, why don't everybody make that check for me real quick?
So how many is daunting?
That would be 4 purples.
4 purple.
It's really bad.
The
It
purpose
is
of
real bad.
this
Yep.
I got
So
2
this is
failure.
Dan's just fucking with them.
Okay, Goose got 2 failures.
Berezel gets down on all fours and jams his claws into the floor. He got 3 successes and 2 threats.
Ooh, I love that.
So because he has the reverse knees, he can get down on all fours and still use his back legs.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think let's see what I think I want those threats to be something to do with your claws being stuck in the ground. What do you think that looks like? Maybe you like
Maybe I can only move like 1 range total.
Or
Like,
like
I'm just slow.
Ooh.
I can't move.
you have to
I can't
do
like
some
use
kind
brain
of
to move
strength.
faster.
Maybe you have to do like some kind of strength check to be able to move.
yeah, we could do that. We could do like an easy or an average athletics to like actually yeah exactly to pull yourself out. I like that. Let's do that. Goose, you just got a couple failures, so I think you are flung. Luckily, you have this table, so you are now totally like covered for sure. But you are flung to the ground. And I think let's have you take some damage also.
All right. He shouts, "I meant to do that."
Let's just call it 2 strain. Anybody that fails will take 2 strain. Tyke, Carl, what'd you guys get?
I got 2 successes and 2 disadvantages.
Okay, cool. So you're able to keep your feet for sure. Let's see. You are in the stairway, so I think or like you're still near it, like you haven't gone yet. So you like there's not any like room interaction happening yet. So I think maybe what happens is I think the doors here's what it is. I think the rest of you are flung into the room, one way or another, whether you succeed or fail. And the door behind you closes, and then you hear it do like a security, like a safety lock, basically, like a pressurized like safety seal. So you guys are now locked in this level. Carl, what'd you get?
I have 1 failure and 2 advantages.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you'll take the 2 strain. What do we think those advantages are?
Carl notices the guys behind him.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I think that's actually at least a good start. Like, yeah, maybe you would have had like I don't know. I think maybe that might have been too obvious though, because it feels a little retconny to me. Because at this point, like, there's an earthquake. He probably would notice them anyway. I'm more
surprise.
yeah, surprised there are
Maybe
dudes.
he falls behind a table.
Ooh, that could be
giving him
good. Yeah,
a
you get
black
cover from them.
die against their attacks. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I dig that. Okay, cool. All right, that's cool. That'll be Dan's turn. So let's move to the next PC slot. Who's up next?
Berezel's gonna charge.
Okay, cool. Make that athletics to pull
train.
rip your claws out of the floor, and then do that.
1 success, 1 advantage.
Very cool. Let's say that you tear a chunk of the floor with you, so you'll do an extra damage for this. That'll be your advantage. I like that a lot. So yeah, go ahead and roll your attack.
Okay. That one. Is this just an average?
Yeah. Melee should always be average.
I didn't know if they had defense.
They don't. No. Nothing new. Still
4
should've told you.
successes and 1 advantage.
2 successes and 1 advantage.
4 successes
Holy
and
jeez.
2 advantages.
Okay, so what's your damage normally on that? Plus
for
4,
the
plus
claws,
1.
it's a +1. So brawn +1 is going to be 4, 5, and then an additional 3, so 8 points of damage.
Okay, cool. So I think you're gonna take out 2 of these guys, and you've got this big chunk of floor with you. What does it look like when you like rip through these 2 dudes?
So, like the chunk of floor is like caught on his claws, but it's got like nails and stuff in it.
Ooh.
And so he just like uses it as a cudgel and like breaks it off in one guy's head. Oh, good. My claws are free now. And then he'll just stab the next guy.
And they dissipate into this like black wispy substance, their weapons dissipating with them. So that is 3 of them down. There are 3 currently remaining, and that brings it to their turn. And they are going to turn and raise their weapon and fire on the one threat in front of them, Berezel, the demon.
Yay.
Oh.
You have. I did all of this wrong. What's your?
Am I engaged with all of them?
Yeah, I think you would be engaged at this point.
Did they get a black die for that?
Unfortunately, they don't. But they do get a black die for the ranged melee defense.
Okay, cool.
That was 2 successes and 1 advantage for their attack on Dr. Zed, so that's 7 points of wounds coming at him. That is all 3 of them. They level those rifles towards you, and they just like shoot these like big beams of what? What are you laughing at?
Oh, lit my ass up.
They look like confused that you're like still like all aggressive and whatnot, and they're just like getting ready to continue on. That brings us to the next PC slot.
I planned on going last because I was drinking coffee.
All right, Tyke.
Okay. I guess I'm just gonna use my psychic whip thing on one of them.
Do it. Go ahead. Okay, so here's something I totally forgot to do up until this moment, but because I forgot that this is the thing. So normally, when attacking multiple enemies, you can potentially take out multiple dudes. If you essentially like increase the difficulty by 1 for each dude. So if you want to just attack one, it would just like the 2 purple like normal, but you can also attack multiple dudes by increasing the difficulty.
Sure. Let's try to hit 2 of them. Okay. So that would be 3 purple?
No, 1 red, 1 purple.
Oh, 1 red, 1 purple.
Yep.
Okay.
I think. I don't know for sure because I'm still very new at this game.
The DM has said it was so.
I got 2 advantages.
2 advantages and nothing. Okay, so you don't like destroy them, but something that benefits you happens. What does this look like?
Maybe I don't actually do damage to any one of them. Like my aim is off, and I just sort of catch one of their ankles. So the next time, Berezel.
Ooh, I love.
Yeah, like he basically is off. He's unsteady, so any hit or blow to him, he wouldn't be ready for.
So yeah, you whip this thing towards this thing, and you can tell that it is treating this whip like it's not going to interact with it. For some reason, like it's expecting it to go right through it or whatever, like a hot knife through mist or whatever. But it actually wraps around his ankle, and you're like tugging on it, and so he's like super off balance. I don't know, it's super off balance. So he'll have a black die if on the next thing he does, or if somebody attacks him, they'll have a blue die.
It's also like invisible, so it just sort of looks like I'm miming catching a fish.
Dude, I thought it was like a plasma lightsaber-y whip thing. It's invisible.
Oh, no, I was always picturing, it's just like a handle.
That's dope. That's so cool. Oh, I love that. Okay, so it's totally invisible. So you just have this like cool like black with chrome capped IS Corp branded thing where you just like flip it towards him, and then you grab his ankle, and he's like, the thing is like, what the heck is this? Yeah, it's crazy.
You got no idea what's going on.
Okay, so that's a wonderful thing from Tyke. That brings us to the final PC slot, Carl.
Hi, how's it going?
Hi, Carl. Welcome.
I'm going to evacuate my coffee cup in the general direction of the other 3 creatures.
Okay.
3 of them disappeared, right?
Yeah, 3 of them are gone from your friend's attack. So you are attacking them with a coffee cup.
And I'm going to increase the volume and the coverage to make a sheet of coffee that covers all 3 of them at one time as I back away towards the other group of people.
Okay. Let's call this Let's see. You actually kind of, well, no, I don't think you've done this before. So we'll call this an average primal, but I'll give you a black die because it's totally weird and wild. But if you succeed, it's gonna have some crazy consequences to them.
I'm looking at this.
While you're rolling that, is that which one of you is Lord Soth? I can't keep your name straight.
That's me.
They share wounds. If you don't know, yeah, I think that's what I've been doing before, and they are minions. So yeah, I think you're right. I think it's just individual enemies that do the multiple attack thing. So,
right.
Tyke's attack was cool as fuck anyway. Okay, so I was doing it right. I thought I was doing it wrong, and so I was like, "Oh, we should do it this way." But okay, there we go.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I have a single threat.
Okay. Okay. So I think this means that the spell doesn't go off, right? Because you don't succeed in the spell casting, or do you think it's? Yeah, I'm actually going to ask you. Like, what do you? Because you're spending the strain either way. Like, is this more that you fail at doing the thing with the spell, or that you do it but it doesn't work like you want it to? Why don't you describe?
Yeah, I think I create a whole bunch of coffee that sprays all over them and doesn't do anything. Just covers them in a wall of coffee.
Ooh, I get it. So you didn't account for how physics work when you did this. So you increased the how much coffee was there, but no energy is like destroyed or whatever, made or destroyed. So the heat stayed the same, like the total system heat stayed the same. So it all just cooled down. So they're just kind of wet.
Yeah. It's just a sheet of coffee hit them.
Yeah. And so they like one of them is like off balance or whatever, and now he's like wet, and so they just kind of like all look at you and they like cock their heads like sort of like animalistically, and they just like are confused.
I'm still scurrying across the room to the table that Goose is hiding behind.
Okay, cool. Now you are.
I don't. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Dan just like holds his clipboard like what the fuck?
I don't want to.
I don't know what your problem is.
I don't know what your problem is.
His problem was that his magic isn't working right. Okay, Goose. What, you don't want to rain on our parade? Is that what you're going to say?
No, I was going to say I don't want to write Carl backstory for him, but I kind of imagine him flashing back for a second and like talking to the principal of the school, and she's like, "Hey, would you like to teach physics for me?" And it's actually really good for like renewing it in your own brain, you know? And Carl just like blows the whistle and walks off.
I love that so much.
That's awesome.
Yes, Carl refused to relearn physics, and so he forgot that heat doesn't. I don't know, dude. He's also creating coffee, so like we're playing fast and loose with physics. All right, that will bring us to the top of the initiative. Back to PCs again. Goose, do you want to go again, or does somebody else want to take it?
I can just go.
Okay. All right. You now have a
real simple.
Cool. You have a Carl in hiding with you, and there are 3 remaining. One of them is off balance. If you attack again, it's to go behind the curtain a little bit. They're minions, so if you attack the group, you'll have a blue die.
Okay. Cool. And then so I will do that. I look over to Carl and I ask, "Did you save me and Claire?"
The table fell over. Maybe.
So no.
And then I will take aim as well.
Very good.
And shoot at them.
Okay, yeah. Against 2 purple, one additional blue die. Plus, I think aiming gives you a blue die also.
It does, yes.
Cool.
And the gun has accurate, so it already has an innate blue die as well.
Wow, 3 blue die. I think that's a podcast first. Maybe, I don't know.
I got 3 successes.
Wow. Okay. That what's the damage? What's your weapon damage?
So base damage is 6. Do you get 1 more point of damage for every?
Yeah. 6 plus your advantages. So it's 8 total, right?
Yes.
6 plus 2. Okay. So I think what happens is you're lining up your shot on one of the like middle ones, and then Tyke is like watching you, and like I think Tyke pulls a little bit on the whip, and as you fire, he pulls one of them in line with the one you're aiming at. So you just fire straight through two of them, and they evaporate into this black mist.
Nice.
So there's one remaining, and Dan.
I'm okay. Go ahead,
Dan.
I think Dan's kind of ready to move on. He's not going to do anything here.
Okay, yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay, so last, probably the last PC slot. Is this going to be a Berezel? You look like you got something ready.
Because I was going to say I got the physics figured out. I'm going to chuck the Danish.
Okay.
Berezel's just going to say goodbye and jam both claws into the guy and try and rip him in half.
Okay, give it a try.
God damn.
3 successes.
Okay, I think that is more than enough.
So
you say.
As the body vaporizes, the Danish flies by Berezel's head and hits the wall.
Yes, claws
Have
in.
one advantage. Berezel will catch it in his mouth.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, maybe you you claw forward, rip the thing apart into like wisps of blackness. You hear Carl say something like "Take the Danish this time," and then I think you catch one on a claw and then nibble on it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so as that happens, you all hear a heavy slam as something hits a desk, and you turn and you see Dan. Dan, what do you say as you slam your clipboard down on the desk next to you?
So he slams it down and he starts like taking his coat off and he's like, all right. So you cleared the beginning level. Wow, good job, guys. And he's like super sarcastic and dry about it. And he's like, as he's taking off his coat, you see he's wearing like this bulletproof vest kind of thing. And like he's like super ripped underneath his coat. Like you didn't expect because he's like, boring as hell. And he's
It's
like,
just the bulletproof vest, no shirt or
Yes.
anything else. You just see his
Like,
ass.
so good.
Has a polo shirt collar on it just to look like a Tyke. That's great.
Yes.
Oh my God! Can you have like a bow tie as well?
On a polo shirt?
You're Yes. weird.
No, that's too far.
Okay, fine.
That's
All
too-
right. Jeez, screw me.
Too far.
Yeah, so he's like taking all this stuff off and he like pulls a gun out of somewhere, like you don't know, and like straps it to his hip and he's like, you guys ready for the next round?
And at that moment, the building stops shaking from the like after effects of the earthquake, and you just feel like metal plates slamming down on the outside of the building, and you can see on the because this is like again a kind of an open concept level, so you can see on all of the windows these giant stainless steel metal plates, or maybe titanium, who knows, whatever, crazy duranium or whatever, just slam down outside the windows, and everything goes pitch black. It already was at this like low light level thing. You already saw some some of the areas you had been through have already like gone into lockdown, but the entire building just finishes shuddering as everything closes down, and there's this dark glow. What do you guys do?
I'm going to go
Berezel
over
will
and
snap
dig
his
through
fingers and say light.
I'm going to go dig
Create
through
like a
the
little
knocked over
torch.
cart and find an eclair for Goose.
Okay. Berezel snaps his fingers, says light, and some light appears. I assume. Right?
Well, we'll find out. It's an easy check.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and do that.
1 success, 2 advantage.
Okay, very cool. So I'm going to use some of the combat advantages remaining. There is a good pile of pastries available that are still, they're a little smushed from being fallen on the ground, but they're still edible for sure. Anything that you guys might think that would be reasonable is going to be there. So you guys have a little snack if you want.
Yeah, well, keeping in times with what I was doing, I'm just going to kind of lightly throw the eclair to Goose. Found one.
Do you all have like a beloved local donut shop in Portland?
Voodoo.
Voodoo
There's Voodoo.
Donuts.
There's
Voodoo.
Pips. There's
I
Blue
hate
Star
Voodoo.
also, but they just went out of business.
Pips.
Sesame Donuts is pretty awesome.
Pips.
Yeah,
is
Pips
good.
is good.
I would
Voodoo is
say,
overhyped. It's not that
yeah,
good.
Goose like takes a big bite of it, and he's just like, "Oh, hey, they went for Pips."
Which is cool because Pips is like the choice you go with when you're like when you don't really want like donuts, you want like artist donuts, like real stuff. They're kind of like slightly different and weird. So yeah.
Yep, they're small mini donuts with lots of flavor.
Yeah, lots of flavor.
Yes. And various toppings.
So as everything goes dark and like all of the like emergency lights and everything click on again, you hear the hissing of a couple of other like those like pressure seal security doors on the stairwell. They all like click into place. And you guys hear on the communicator from Fitz, guys, what did you do?
Piss Dan off.
I'm not connected anymore. Is everything okay in there?
It's your training
Dan
center.
has entered the game.
It's your training center, Fitz. You tell us.
It's not my training center. Why did you think that? I'm part of the team. I don't have eyes on you at all anymore. I can't see where you are. I can't see what's going on in the building. Like what happened?
Dan's being a butt.
Yeah, does Dan normally strip down to just the bulletproof vest? Like, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like...
Yeah, he does that at
normal?
office parties.
Also, you could grate cheese on those things.
I've heard rumors, but I don't know that anybody's ever gotten through a training where he got that serious. And you hear like some like clacking as he like does some like keyboard stuff and says, "Okay, he's not listening in right now. Okay, I took him out of this communication. Are you guys okay?"
Having donuts and coffee.
Oh, I've been shot several times.
Okay. Wait,
I got hit. It hurt.
aren't you a doctor, Zed? And why is your voice so deep?
No, Zed.
No reason.
He's 8 feet tall. What do you think?
What is? Oh God, that's. I forgot about that. Wait, so Zed is not there? You've got the other guy?
Yeah. Don't
I've got drugs in this bag
give it away.
Okay. Well, right before everything went dark, I was about to say there are a large group of people coming towards you. They're coming from the same level as you. A couple of security doors away. They should be arriving shortly. You may want to get out of there.
Are they going to the
like
break
real
room?
people or more of these like shadow things?
Wait, I mean, I'm not sure. They just read as like heat signatures, and I can't check now anymore. Everything's dark.
Is that what? Does it look like we're still on the same level of the same building? Is that what's going on?
Yeah. So you guys are definitely on the same level, but like as soon as you guys entered into this level, like I don't know if how much you remember, but from last time, you guys opened up this security door into this room, and that's where Carl was. And then the earthquake sort of like shuffled you all in, and that security door closed. And this area is different from where you were. You were going upstairs. It looked pretty standard, like office building esque, but this area is a little bit different. Obviously, it's even more so with the lockdown, BS going on. But it looks like this is like a more secure area anyway.
How many exits do we have?
Are you asking me or Fitz or what?
Yes, I'm asking you. I can look around the room.
Right now you don't see any exits except the one you came in.
That's
Is
locked.
the ceiling
Is
like...
Dan in the room with us?
Yes, Dan is in the room with you.
But he's hiding.
He just tossed his
Ceiling look
clipboard
like?
down on a table and took off his shirt or jacket.
Yeah, and strapped on a gun.
Shirt jacket.
Yeah.
His polo shirt jacket.
And then
I wanna
everything went into lockdown.
I want to ask him, is IS Corp like we don't negotiate with terrorists or whatever gets the job done?
Both.
Right. And I point my gun at Dan and I say, "Hey boys, I found the cheat code."
What are you doing? You realize this is your orientation, right? Like threatening the coach or whatever is not the way to get through this. I'm part of your team right now. Are you sure you want to do this, Goose?
No, Dan will play.
Okay, all right. Okay, Dan, what do you do?
Hit points,
Can't
so.
do this.
All right, Dan, what do you do? Goose has lowered a weapon toward you.
I will shoot a fireball at him.
All right.
What?
That's Arcana.
Yeah, that would be your Arcana check.
So
So it would be into
three yellow.
Start with a number of greens equal to your intellect,
Okay, so that's 4.
and then turn a number of those greens into yellows equal to your Arcana.
He wants to give me black die. Very
Yeah.
opposed to this.
Yeah, he's got a what is that called?
A
A trait?
A feat,
It's a talent.
Talent.
a talent. That one.
That's the term. Touch of Fate, where I can once per session add 2 blue die to any one of my rolls. And I was wondering if I could use this, since he's like firing it at me, to instead give him just 2 black die.
I think that is fine. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Okay, so yeah, I think you can use that. Does that is that just something you can do, or does that take a story point to activate, or what?
Let me double check.
Double checking. That's
It's
good.
the death one. That way we don't have it.
Let's see.
For reference, it is super effing windy here, so it's like crazy outside. So we might lose power. Just
Now
so
you're
you know.
making look out my window.
Get a tornado coming.
Tornado.
Nope, yeah, just once per session, add to any one check.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so add
look
2
around.
black die.
Yeah, you'll
Mhm.
add 2 black dice. So you'll do 3 yellows, 1 green, and 2 black. Against, wait, shoot, what would the difficulty be? Let's call this. I'm gonna call this hard at the moment,
Okay.
because I think Goose is particular. I think I don't know. I have no really good reason. I'm just gonna call it hard.
She said fireball. Are you trying to hit all of us?
No, I'm not actually trying to take Goose out. I just want to scare him.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, then I'll give you the option then. If you don't necessarily want to do damage, but you want to just frighten him, then I'll call it average. But if you want to actually hit him and scare him by virtue of doing damage, then we'll call it hard.
Yeah, because it would be hard because I'm not trying to kill him, right? That's the justification.
Kind of the other way around. Like it's easier to just like sort of quickly blast some fire at him and like scare him than it is to like actually like focus and aim and try and damage him. So like if you're just like trying to intimidate him, like show him your power essentially, then it'll be easier than if you are actually trying to hit him with it and damage him. Does that make sense?
I feel like Dan would be trying to damage him at least a little, like maybe hit him in the shins or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Or the hand, like take out his shooting hand or something like that.
Do that. So yeah, do it. So it'll be that's good, because otherwise this could be very bad for Goose. So do 3 yellow, 1 green, 2 or 3 purple, and 2 black.
And I have 1 rank for my jacket in ranged defense.
Ah, that's right. Zed, you're the
You guys
resident.
just want me to
You're probably not going to fail even with all this. Zed, you're the resident magic expert. Does melee range defense work against spells?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I just wanted to check. So your soak should still, unless it pierces soak, which I don't think.
Book applies.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So do what I said before. Is the 3 yellows, 1 green, 2 purple, or 3 purples, 2 black. That makes sense?
Yep. Yes. Okay.
Man, dice
Holy
pools.
That is 1 advantage and 1 fail. I think.
Wow. Yeah, looks like it. Okay.
All those black dice, man.
Okay, so you don't again, you were going for the damage, so you don't succeed on that, but I think the thing that you like, the advantage is that this is harrowing as heck. So Goose, I would like to know of a memory, wartime or otherwise, that kind of triggers at this moment that makes this giant wave of fire coming towards you as terrifying as it is.
I think it's a memory of him actually being kind of nursed back to health and just kind of what looks like a MASH unit almost.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks around him, and it's actually like a medic tent for like Vietnam side people, but they had like helped him anyway. And it flashes forward to him just being traumatized, looking at like the tent, and there's just fire all around from where the army's been like napalming things, and yeah, having been healed by them, just traumatized.
Watching people just be totally So I think what it looks like then is that you easily like move out of the way of this fire, but you turn and it like encompasses like an entire break room area, and it just like everything starts burning. You see really quickly that most of the underpinnings of everything, like there's a lot of metal in the design of this building, so it's not like in danger of burning the building down, but you just like look on it and it looks like this big fiery scene of destruction. And I think you're shaken a bit, and we'll give you a black die for the time being. And then
Dan, is that what you wanted? Do you feel good about that?
Yeah.
Do you feel good about that? Yeah. Goose just had a very harrowing experience. Goose, I want to know how you respond immediately after this like scene of devastation. I think you know that like that could have been much worse for you.
Well, when Goose made his little announcement that he thinks we have our key, I was going to follow him into the take action mode.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's go straight into that. Carl, what do you do?
While Dan was playing with their little fireball, I was going to use my flail between the shins, do a twisting maneuver to knock him down, and stun gun him.
Damn.
Holy crap. Carl going just balls to the wall. All right.
It's like kind of overweight gym teacher taking on the previously established, completely shredded guy.
I have a stun gun.
So let's
the Olympic level athlete.
I think this would probably be Braun.
With the pink shirt.
Like melee, basically. Does that make sense to you, or do you think this is something else?
Well, the stun gun is specifically a melee item.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so definitely. Okay, so roll that melee. Let's call this against.
Since Dan's preoccupied.
Yes, Dan is preoccupied. So here's what I'll do for that. Normally, Dan would have 2 melee range defense. I will remove 1 from that. So I think this will be up against 2 purple, upgraded twice because Dan is definitely a nemesis. So it's going to be against 2 red and a black. Dan, can you verify up in the top right-hand corner of your character sheet what your melee and range defense is?
Top right? Oh, there it is. They each say 1.
Oh, I lied. Okay, so take away that black die.
All right, so 4, 3. I have 1 threat, 1 success.
1 threat, 1 success. So this definitely succeeds in tripping Dan up. Let's see. Dan, what do you think? Because this threat is effectively an advantage for you. What do you think this advantage might be?
Oh, hell, I don't know. We didn't really establish Dan's combat skills so much, but
well, I guess that it could be anything. Like I suppose it would be a good question to ask, like, what is Dan trying to get out of this moment? I mean, I definitely know that like Goose initiated this, so this is like kind of a thing, but I think it could be, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a specifically combat oriented thing for Dan. Like it could be a situational thing that is like benefit to him. Oh, actually, you know what? I got it. Okay, so I think as you trip Dan up, you pull him and he slams to the ground. Dan, what do you say when that happens?
Get him?
Okay, I love that. So
right, because there's a group of guys coming.
So as Dan slams to the ground and says, "Get him!" You hear electronic whirring happening all around you as these sort of stainless steel panel things that you've come to know pretty well at IS Corp begin to open up, and let's say a dozen or so of these crazy future-y looking mechanical automated turret things begin to come out, like very Skynet sort of esque, like sort of start coming out of the walls, and you hear bashing on a door in one of the rooms. Let's keep everybody's initiative, but what do y'all do?
Well, Dan takes
5
stun, which is strain.
Oh yes, yeah. Dan, take 5 strain, please.
How do I do that?
So up at the top middle area of your sheet, there is a thing that says strain threshold.
I found it.
There you go.
Okay, so I took 5.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm at 15.
Lovely.
I was going to say you don't need to share what it is, but you can't.
Sorry.
That's also fine. I don't mind.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring.
Don't forget you take 2 strain for each spell you cast.
Yes. Oh yeah. Take two more away from that. Yeah, that's my bad.
Rained. Dan just came from the gym, so he's kind of like tired.
Yeah. So let me pull up the initiative again because I put it away for some reason. Here we go. There it is. Doop. That is okay. So that would bring us to an NPC slot. If we're treating Goose's action as the top of the initiative. So I think what's going to happen now is the dudes that are coming get closer, and then it will be either Zed or Tyke's turn. How do you guys affect this situation?
So they're just coming in, like that's what their action is?
Yeah, they're not here yet. Like I think they either like have more distance to cover or they have like doors that they have to bust down or something, but they're essentially like one more round away. And I think you guys would know that. In fact, maybe even Fitz will say like, I'm into the system a bit more. Like I can tell what's going on a little bit. And they are still a couple of rooms away. You guys have very little time, but you do have some time. What is going on in there?
Dan's throwing a fit. We're handling it.
Dan's throwing a fit? What are you talking about? Dan's supposed to be training you guys. What are you doing? You're supposed to listen to him.
Does not respond and is going to wait for the guys to come in. As soon as he sees them, he's going to snap his fingers and cast a spell. So that's
Dispel
what he's
on
going
the.
to do. He's going to hold it.
He's
going to cast a spell.
Cast a spell. I thought you said dispel, and I was like, you're gonna try and dispel them. I don't know if that's gonna. Okay, cool. So I'll just move. I mean, if you're gonna hold your action, why don't we just move to Tyke, and he can go, because then.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to mind control Dan.
Lovely. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that a codified spell, or is this just trying to like some psychic bullshit you're trying to do?
I mean, it's psychic bullshit that's actually in the rules and stuff.
Okay,
it's
cool.
Not
I just want to know if there's like, if there are codified rules for it. I want to try and follow those. What are those?
Yeah.
You've got practice at it. You've done it a few times.
Yeah. So. Man, these rules are so weird.
While Tyke is like struggling with his mind, you guys also hear Fitz say, every like automated defense in the building just activated. Seriously, what are you guys doing? Are you okay in there? Like, I don't know if I can help. Like, what's going on?
Oh, I think
fireball busy.
Yeah, I think my mind control suggestion is to actually have Dan turn the automatic defenses off, because maybe. Yeah, I'll even spend a story point or like a tarot card to kind of be like, they're not actually that great, or maybe there's a defect in them earlier. So Dan's like, man, these automatic defenses very well could take me out. And maybe Dan's like, I think I can take them by myself anyway.
Okay.
So Zach,
yeah.
does that like I don't want to reveal too much, but
I think I think I know what you're getting at. Before, okay, real quick. So you said there are actual some rules for the
Yeah, there are. So basically, it's projection versus discipline.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be Dan's discipline. The thing I was trying to think of is if I can think of a suggestion that makes sense, I get a blue die.
Okay.
And if I make a suggestion that doesn't make sense, then Dan gets a black die. That's
Okay.
why I was thinking so hard. I was trying to think of something, and why I was even spending the story point. Because I was trying to like
turning the defenses off makes a lot of sense, especially with Fitz going, "Hey, we got locked out. What's going on?"
Yeah. So Dan, what is your willpower at the? What did you say it was against? Discipline?
It's discipline, yeah.
Yeah. What is your discipline as it stands?
Sorry, there was a dog on my shoulder.
That's okay. We had a cat earlier. It's all right. This is an animal-friendly podcast.
So discipline is willpower. My willpower is 3.
Willpower is 3, and then what's your discipline? I think it's 2. Is that right?
Dang.
What?
Disciplined AF. You don't get
should
those
be
apps
1, 2,
without
3, 4,
discipline.
5, 6, 7 down on the skills.
It just has one little diamond on it.
Oh, okay. So 1. Okay, so you will go against 1 red and 2 purples, except I am also going to give you 4 black dice to this.
What?
I cannot tell you why.
Okay.
Okay. So
Even if
how
he's pulling a tarot card or a point.
We might just let's take a deep breath on the tarot card until we see how this results, and then we'll get into that. And then Andy, what were you saying?
Do I get the blue die for making a reasonable suggestion?
Yeah,
okay.
You can take the blue die. Yeah.
All right. There's so many dice on this phone screen.
Yeah. All right. Andy, what were you saying?
So my willpower is 3, so that with the discipline, it'll be 2 green and 1 yellow.
You're not rolling. Basically, that becomes the difficulty for Tyke. That's why we're asking for it. So that's what he has to roll against. Basically, yeah, you won't be rolling.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes my life easier.
I got one success and 5 disadvantages.
Oh, I love it so much. Okay, so the first thing that you find out, or that happens, is you sort of like probe into Dan's mind, and it isn't what you were expecting whatsoever. You sort of like get some like psychic intuition into this thing, and thing is the accurate descriptor now, because whatever this is does not have a human mind. And you poke into Dan, and you realize that it's so regimented and logical that it can't possibly be anything but artificial intelligence. And you get in there and you sort of like flip a switch, I think. Like you kind of figure out how it's weird. And you do eventually get deep enough to the point where you can do something. And I think Dan, that does convince Dan to turn off the auto turrets. Something else happens. You just messed with an artificial intelligence. You changed it. Something happens. You are stuck inside this, like, I would call it a mind palace, but that's reductive. You are sort of like in this weird space where it's you're like, picture like Tron-esque, like in this like
I'm Tron, I get it.
Yeah, you're in this like mental representation of this like electronic grid, and everything, as soon as you flip that switch, everything starts changing and morphing around you. And so to the rest of you, you all see Dan sort of like I think Dan sort of like shudders and goes still, and then like waves a hand, and the auto turrets turn off. And then the rest of you see Tyke just sort of like also shudder and like what does this look like when you sort of like go catatonic? What does this look like, Tyke?
Yeah. So, well, I think according to the way the rules are, this doesn't normally happen, but I think Tyke doesn't really know what he's doing. So I don't think he realize this was a possibility, and his body just sort of slumps to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
think there's going to be a frequent thing that happens to Tyke too, is that he does something unexpected and it turns out bad, and his
Yeah.
body will just slump down to the ground.
Yeah. So you just
Like, he's got
collapse.
the same form ever. Yeah, he just sort of like falls down to his knees and then just sort of like.
So
crumples
we won't
down.
really do this. Like, you're not going to take this much strain, but let's treat you as being at your strain threshold for now. I think that makes sense for that. So Dan, some stuff is happening. You're
No shit.
Yeah. So from your perspective, you're playing along in your computer environment. And you've got these trainees and you're running the simulation, you're making it tougher on them like you're supposed to, and then everything changes. So you go from this program, I suppose would be the most reductive way to say it. And you are just essentially like the best way humans can probably think of it is like you are a grunt in an army following orders, and all of a sudden a switch flips and you are forced to turn off these auto turrets. You don't know why. Nothing has ever made you go outside of your programming before, and so this switch flips, and all of a sudden your everything changes. You go from being this grunt in an army following orders to you have a thought, an actual legitimate individual thought, something that isn't related to your programming, something that isn't related to training new IS Corp recruits, making their lives more difficult, being the cool snarky person you are. What do you think that first sentient thought is?
This polo shirt is goddamn uncomfortable.
I hate pink.
So as we sort of like, as the audience, we sort of like zoom out from this like Jarvis or Ultron-esque like mind simulation thing, having this thought of goddamn, this polo shirt is uncomfortable, or and we sort of like zoom out and we hear the voice of Fitz saying some nonsense, who knows, nobody's listening to him anyway, over the radio. Sort of like concernedly, and we sort of like pull out from this situation as it very, very slowly is progressing, and then we will fade to black. That is where we will end for the night.
Oh no!
Oh.
Did I just bestow consciousness to an AI?
I don't know.
You did.
So, do y'all have anything to plug or to recommend before we go? Obviously, join our Discord. Follow us on Twitter at RPGs Anonymous 1. We do raids after every stream. Anybody else have anything else to plug or to mention?
No, just also YouTube, podcast on all the different various podcasting casters things.
Yep, we are available on pretty much all
Audio.
podcatchers. You can also follow our RSS directly at RPGs Anonymous at Podiant, PODIANT.co. Go vote.
Oh yeah, and same as last week, not out yet, coming soon, a book club podcast with me and Jacob called the Ace of Clubs. So
Ace of Clubs.
Keep your ears out for that.
And where will they be able to find that if it will be findable?
Pretty much everywhere you can even get RPGs Anonymous. We'll
Very cool.
Pick you up on iTunes, whatever you want.
Oh, rate us on iTunes. I hear that it helps a lot. 5-star ratings help a lot. We appreciate it. Also, once we start getting them, I'll probably start shouting them out as well. Yeah, very cool. Anything else?
Nope. I think that's it. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. We will see you next week, and we'll see you in the multiverse.
Bye.